Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Strong Collectors Podcast. I'm your host, Dakota, here with my co-host, Jordan. And today it's time for another action figure spotlight. We're going to be talking about the current Kickstarter, the Savage Crucible. But before we do that, we want to give you guys a reminder. Make sure that you're liking, sharing, and subscribing this podcast. Share it with all your friends and fellow collectors. Hopefully we learn a little something new here today with this new toy line. Usually we're talking Marvel Legends, maybe some Mythic Legions, superheroes and stuff like that, but every once in a while we like to branch out and see what else is out there in the wide world of toys.
And if you are subscribed, you are automatically entered for the drawing for our 400th subscriber giveaway coming up.
And we're only, as of this recording, we're only 11 subscribers away, which this isn't going to be the next episode to air. We have, I think, at least one episode before this one airs, so you may be too late. I hope you're not, but if you are,
you'll get in on the next one.
Yeah, the next one, we've got more in the works, so don't worry. We're going to keep those giveaways coming. But yeah, subscribe, like, share. We respond to all the comments. Without further ado, Jordan, should we get into some Savage Crucible?
Savage Crucible.
And you wanted to read us a little intro blurb to these guys, right?
A piece of text here. It seems to set up the line. Our homeland is beyond comprehension, young one. We very well may be the center of all things, the origin point for everything that is, was, or will be. The crucible in which the universe forged all other worlds. And that is the opening scroll to Savage Crucible.
Yes. So this is a Kickstarter. So we don't have like in-hand shots of these. There's some like prototypes out there, but my understanding of this world, like Jordan just kind of read, but kind of giving it a less dramatic feel, is like this is like the origin point of like the multiverse, kind of. Mm-hmm. Like from this crucible spawns all other worlds and dimensions and walks of life. So that's like, we come from this crucible, but then so do these other creatures that we're going to get into later.
Yes. It's the vibe I was getting, kind of a mythical Conan-esque world. But,
yeah. I mean, I would assume this is pretty inspired by Conan. Probably lots of other things as well, but I just read the comic book attached to this storyline today, and it definitely has like some Conan characters, and then it's kind of very like warrior barbarian centric. So this is, like I said, a Kickstarter. So how Kickstarters work is, in order to have the project funded, you say like, we need to make this much money, and then if we make that much money, then we can make either some or all of these figures. And then usually there's like tiers on top of that. So if you make, or if you get over whatever was the initial backing point, then more and more action figures will be unlocked, or like accessories or different things like that. So their initial goal was to get 120,000. They have 34 days left, and they are currently at 360,000. So they have surpassed their initial funding goal, which means they've unlocked some of the extra waves. They're starting to unlock some more. Yeah. So there's 3 waves, I believe, here. All 3 waves are unlocked, and then they're starting to get into some even more bonus unlocks that we can kind of talk about towards the end. So let's see. Should we just get into some of the figures here, Jordan?
Let's do it.
All right. So if you guys wanted to follow along with us, this is, if you just look up Savage Crucible, probably on Google, it would be one of those first links, or just search it in the Kickstarter website and you'll find it. So like I said, their original goal was 120,000 to unlock wave 1. So within wave 1, you're going to get the first figure. You might have to help me on some of these names. I'm assuming this is Nin Villamir.
That's what I would say.
Okay, good. And he's a Lemurian, so this is a type of like lizard dinosaur type person. And he's kind of a grayish dinosaur looking guy. He's got purple armor.
Kind of like a Godzilla man.
Yeah, very true. Very Godzilla. He's got an articulated jaw, I know. He's got a sword and a dagger, and then weapon holding hands, and then more open hands. And we can talk we'll go through all the figures, and then we'll kind of talk about some of our ones that we're interested in or whatever afterwards. Then you've got
Como
of the
Isles.
Como of the Isles. I don't know the word Isles apparently. He's a little more like normal lizard looking. He's got kind of more of a blunted snout, more of a greenish kind of color to him. His armor's more, I don't know, how do you describe it?
More reptilian than dinosaur, I'd say.
Yeah. And then he comes with a big sword. He's got a spiky axe, and then again, weapon holding hands and open hands. Then we get into the Royal Guard. This is a black...
Back to dinosaur man.
Yeah, he's like a black color with white stripes. He comes with 2 large swords and 2 slightly smaller curved swords, 2 sets of hands. I think they all have articulated jaws. And then getting into the Imperial Sentry. He's, again, a little bit more lizard-like. He's got kind of a brighter purple armor, 2 longer swords, kind of 2 curved swords, 2 sets of hands. And then the Lemurian Savage is a little bit more of like he's kind of supposed to be, I think, more of the army builder. He's a little cheaper. Mm-hmm. So the other ones we mentioned were $38 each. This guy's $25 each. He doesn't have much armor. He's just kind of got like a loincloth. He's got his 2 sets of hands and then a kind of a bone sword.
Bone sword.
But yeah, no other armor than that. Then there's also the Lemurian Slate, which these 2 I think are supposed to be like, kind of like, if you know Mythic Legions, these are like the Legion builders. They come with less paint apps, kind of less detail, so that you can they're good for customizers that want to add their own paint apps, or we'll get into some like builder packs as well. Mm-hmm. Because then next we have the Lemurian character pack, which is going to come with some armor sets, kind of a upper body. It's even got some wrist wraps, leg wraps, different kind of hook weapons, and 2 extra heads that I think they don't work on every one of them. Because like I said, there's like a black dinosaur man, but these are going to be green heads. And then there's the Lemurian character pack 2, which comes with a lot more weapons, kind of a shield, a giant spear thing, and then 3 different heads. And each of those heads are going to work for a different one of those characters. So you have more of like a frilled lizard head. You've got more of a kind of a dinosaur. I don't know what.
Triceratops looking head.
Yeah, like a helmeted Triceratops, and then a green, not a T-Rex, but some other kind of.
Dilophosaur.
Is that what that is?
In Jurassic Park, remember they spit at you?
Yeah, but what's the one with like the thing, like the double mohawk?
Yeah, it's a Dilophosaur.
No, the Dilophosaur's on the far left. What's the center one?
I think that's a Dilophosaur without its things frilled out.
Oh, I thought those were like up above. Maybe it is. Anyway, good job on knowing your dinosaurs. Dinos? I took a college class on dinosaurs and don't remember a single thing.
I should know. I graduated kindergarten at least 3 times.
All right, this is kind of wave 1. I don't know. We can get onto the add-ins later. I don't think they're as cool, but I think so. Kind of just an overall, what I imagine these characters are going to come out to be is, I think they're going to be as detailed and kind of like fantasy as like what I like about Mythic Legions, but they're going to have the articulation that's even better than a Marvel Legend. So that's kind of what I'm expecting here, because they've shown some poses where it's like they can get 2 hands on a sword, which even with Marvel Legends, you can't do that with all of them.
That is pretty tough.
So they're all going to have like double jointed everything. They're going to have butterfly joints, lots of articulation in the head. These ones are going to have articulated jaws. They've got, I don't know which ones do and don't, but I think there's 2 sets of tails with some of these, and maybe we'll get into that in the stretch goals. Maybe that's what it is. But there's kind of like a more fixed tail that still can like move around at like the like plug-in point, But then they have some that are more like the lizard Build-A-Figure, where there's like the joints within the tail. It looks much better than the lizard Build-A-Figure, but kind of more of an articulated tail like that. These ones, I like these ones. I think I would be tempted to get, for sure, Royal Guard. Yeah, that's probably the one at the top of my list for these guys.
Yeah.
Maybe I would get some more, because I was tempted by the 5K Toys dinosaur guys, but they were just kind of like, not quite what I was hoping for.
I would agree with you. I think the Royal Guard is also the one I'm most intrigued by.
And he's one that D Amazing has a like in hand kind of a prototype review of, to kind of show off the articulation, and he's got a bunch of different pictures on there, which you're not going to get like the full like display abilities, because these are prototypes and they're pretty fragile, breakable, so he doesn't like push them to their limits or anything, because he doesn't want to send them back broken toys. But they look pretty good. I don't know if I need any of the like builder packs, because I kind of like what they come with already, and I don't need a ton of extra weapons. I've got lots of extras laying around already. But then some of the add-ons for this one, you got some coin sets. We'll kind of pass by those, because neither Jordan and I are too interested in those. If you're interested in collecting coins,
sorry to our coin collector fans.
Right. So if you want to check those out, go ahead and look at them. It's interesting. I just don't know how I would display or have those other than just in a box. But then you've got the Savage Crucible graphic novel, 56 pages. That's what I read today. Pretty good. I mean, it was kind of interesting that like a lot of those characters in the book aren't necessarily in this Kickstarter, because like you can kind of see on the picture, there's kind of the 3 human looking characters, but then you've got the lizard guy, he kind of looks like one of the figures up above. But then you got a tiger guy, which I really would like to get, but he's not in this. And then you've got kind of a rock thing looking guy, which I also would like to get him as well. So anyway, then you got some more coin sets. And then we get into wave 2. And this is, I think, maybe where Jordan is going to get a little bit more interested. This was unlocked at 242,000. And so, like I said, it's been unlocked. We've got Who-Man, which is kind of the main character of the comic book. He's kind of your younger Conan the Barbarian, kind of a gladiator-looking guy. He's got armor. He's got a shield. He's got 2 extra sets of hands, an extra head, and then a long sword. Then you get into, how do you say that name? Krieger, the Shunned. And I believe he's also in the book as well. He's kind of like looking out for Who-Man in the beginning. He's got 2 sets of extra hands, a helmeted head and an unhelmeted head. I'm not 100% sure if the helmet comes on and off. I don't think it does, because the heads look a little too similar for that to be like different. But also don't take my word for it. He's got a long sword with a sheath and an axe. Then we've got Nashorn, the Disinherited. He looks more like a villain, armored up knight guy. He's got big Loki-type horns, a sword, dagger, sheath for each of those, 2 extra hands. Then we got, I believe his name is Jaeger. He's more of like a wolfman bounty hunter looking guy. He's got...
That's a good description. Kind of got a hood. Some like ranger looking gear, crossbow, curvy sword. Is that like a pouch he's got? Some kind?
I think so. I don't know what exactly that is.
Maybe that clips on to his belt or something?
Yeah, I think so.
And then, I would bet maybe it lines up with the peg on the sheath or something, and it pops in.
Yeah.
And then you got the 2 extra sets of hands, dagger. Well, ooh, soft good cape not shown in image.
Oh. Very true. I don't know if that was in the in-hand review of him either. So that's kind of cool. I know he does come with an extra, like that hood can port on and off as well too. So you don't have to have him hooded, or you can have him hooded.
That one looks kind of cool.
And then we've got
Frazetta's.
Warrior with ball and chain. This one I think probably looks the most like a Conan, right?
I was just thinking that.
Yeah.
He's got kind of the loincloth, That's kind of all he's got besides his boots and
Boots with the
bracers
fur.
and boots. It'd be a good parody. Then he's got like a mace thing, a sword, shield. It says he also comes with metal chains and alternate soft goods.
Cool.
Pending final approval. I'm not sure what that means, but
yeah,
that'd be cool.
And then you get into the Barbarian character pack, which is going to give you looks like a larger shield, a spear, kind of a giant spiked bat. Looks like 2 extra helmeted heads for maybe Nashorn the Disinherited with different horn variants. Kind of a spiky, looks like brass knuckles, an alternate head, an alternate pair of fisted hands, and an alternate double bird, flipping the bird off kind of hands, which that's been pretty controversial in the groups. I've seen a lot of people be like, why would they waste their time giving us these molds? I've seen other people be like, that's pretty fun and kind of funny to add in there.
Yeah, they're barbarians,
we'll finish up the... Yeah.
What can you expect? They're crude.
The Barbarian Builder 2-pack, or the Barbarian Builder pack number 2, comes with more armor. It comes with 2 alternate heads. You've got kind of a bearded, helmeted head, and you've got kind of an eye patch looking mustache man head.
Ooh, then you got skull shoulder pads?
Oh, yes. I thought those were just skulls, but yeah, that's cool. Maybe an extra loincloth. I'm not sure what that bottom left piece is. Then an axe and a sword.
Like a bone axe and a bone sword.
And it says those work with either Human or Krieger. So what did you think about... We'll start with just the double bird hands, Jordan. What do you think about those?
I don't know. I don't think it bothers me.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess honestly, I'm not...
It makes me want to get those packs even more. I don't have anybody on my shelves right now that can flip everybody off except for Galactus. I guess some of my Toy Biz figures can, but not sculpted hands like that. Not
a sculpted hand. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of funny and probably them just having fun and putting in some random detail.
Yeah. So, any from this wave that you're tempted by, Jordan?
Like you said, the Frazetta's Warrior looks the most like a Conan type, which I've been trying to figure out how to work on a custom one. And not sure which base body to use. I do have a Mezco Conan head that I purchased and a cloak, but I'm not sure exactly how that will port on to whatever body. So if anyone out there knows or has made a custom Legends Conan with a Mezco head by chance, let me know. But yeah, I think this one looks pretty good. I think he looks cool, and I think the what was the one above him? The Jaeger. I like that they both would have soft good capes. I'm curious the quality on those, if they're probably more like a Legion cape, perhaps.
I would think so, yeah. Because these, again, are going to be... I'll go back up through the prices real quick. They're all going to be $38, except for Frazetta, the one that you like that looks like Conan, is going to be $40, so a couple dollars more. And then the Barbarian character packs are both $25 each. So, I don't know. I think the ones I'm for sure, if I'm going to get any of these, for sure, it's going to be Jaeger and Nashorn the Disinherited.
I figured you'd like the Nashorn guy.
Yeah.
Seems up your alley.
He's like a evil-looking knight that, I don't know, giant horns, gold armor.
Do you oppose your legions? Would you mix those together? Or would this be like their own display?
It probably depends on how many I end up getting, and I don't think it's going to be a crazy ton.
Yeah.
But I think they look like they fit in with legions pretty well, or even with legends pretty well. And they have some like size comparisons too at the bottom. But yeah, those are the two that I would be most excited about. And then probably one of the lizard dinosaur guys. But that's not all, Jordan, because Wave 3 is unlocked at 242,000. And now we're getting into more of the fishmen, the Piranoid type characters. So we got the Phantom or the Fathom Scout Piranoid. He's kind of a bluish white Piranoid, and these are kind of like hunched over, very fish looking, sharp teeth.
Piranha heads.
Yeah. He's got 2 alternate hands. I believe that's a loincloth, possibly. Yeah. A helmet. I don't know what that is up top.
Kind of like a bra.
Maybe. He's got kind of a scythe, like a bone scythe, and then a bone sword.
That bone scythe looks incredibly ineffective.
That's true. It would not be very... It'd be a one and done kind of weapon. You stick that in and you're not going to get that out of your opponent. His sword looks very like Merman from He-Man style. So that's kind of cool. Then you've got your League Striker, which is more of a dark green Piranoid character. Alternate hands.
It's more kind of gator looking.
Yeah. Still, I mean, has the fish head, but yeah, definitely gator colors. I think that must be a helmet. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a helmet.
Yeah, you're right. Not
I think
a bra.
It's probably like a spear that maybe goes together, or maybe it's like a harpoon. I'm not sure what that weapon is, but then he's got a little bit more effective sword than his other...
His buddy?
Yeah. And then you've got the Abyss Dreadnought, which is kind of a purplish gray Piranoid guy. He's got some sort of axe, almost looks like a fishing hook. Then he's got a spear, helmet, and then 2 alternate hands. You got the Piranoid Savage, which is a little bit cheaper than the others. So the others are 38. This one is 25. Again, kind of more of the like, comes with less accessories, a little bit less paint job, but he's kind of a like pale blue. Looks like he's got some really gnarly teeth compared to the other guys. Maybe that's a similar. No, yeah, he's definitely way more gnarly. Then he's got a club and alternate hands. And then you've got the Piranoid Slate. Is that what I said? The Slate and the Savage look pretty similar.
Yeah, they're kind of just different paint apps almost looking.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Same weapons, same hands. And then the one that I thought you were going to be most excited about was the Harbinger of the Abyss. And he's kind of like a purple Cthulhu guy. Comes with 3 alternate hands, a necklace, a hood, and a giant like scepter. He's only $38 as well. And then you get into your character packs. So $20 for pack number 1. You're going to get a sword, 2 daggers, 3 alternate heads.
There's only 1 pack.
Trident. Oh, yeah, you're right. Kind of a Cthulhu magic book, which is kind of... That's in the comic book. It's kind of like a sorcerer book.
Tome of Power?
Yes. I'm not sure what the thing next to that is. That might be like kind of like this orb that they use. It kind of goes with the book to kind of give power to this realm. And then a shield. So you're going to get 1 of each colored heads for your Piranha guys from the beginning. What do you think, Jordan? That Harbinger of the Abyss or any of the
I wish the Harbinger was more green, but maybe that's a nitpick. Maybe that one could be painted, though. Could do a paint job, make him green.
Yeah.
Then he would look kind of like a Cthulhu guy.
Mm-hmm.
Is that not... Those are probably sculpted plastic, not soft goods like the other ones, right?
Yeah. It's like a... And same, like the hood can like port on him as well. Kind of like a softer...
Have you seen this one in hand? Or
yes.
No?
Yep.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. I can send you the review for that one too.
I might need to check that one out.
I think this one might have had like one of the arms was kind of stuck, so he couldn't do a ton with it, just because he didn't want to snap it off. But yeah, you can pour it on the different hands. Just kind of cool, like the squid-looking hands.
Mm-hmm.
I'm tempted by him as well. I don't have as much of an attachment to Cthulhu as you, but he's just very unique, and like I'm not going to have anybody else like this on my shelf unless Legions comes out with some Cthulhu-looking guy. So I think he looks pretty cool. I agree, though. Purple probably wouldn't have been my first choice for him, but also I don't have a ton of purple characters, so I don't necessarily mind it too bad.
Might work out.
Yeah, might work out.
Mhm.
I don't know. I think some of these I definitely am interested in. Not going to go all in here. They have options for all ins, but if you scroll down towards the bottom, you can see some of the comparisons, comparing it to like Legions, comparing it to Ninja Turtles, Marvel Legends, and it looks like it's like the lizard, Lemurians, the dinosaur guys are going to be bigger than your average Spider-Man, but smaller than your Marvel Legends Red Hulk, which I don't know. I think that's about how I would want my dinosaur guys to look.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, they look like they're on a good scale. They're going to be like that 6 to 7 inch size. And then, yeah, their posability looks pretty impressive. They've got kind of the similar, like, armor style porting as Mythic Legions. Like, you're able to port kind of into the back of their, like, traps and then also into the back of their shoulders as well. So you can have, like, kind of shoulder pads and then lower shoulder pads. And I think that's kind of what I've been hearing about this group is they've kind of been around for a while, but they didn't put out their Kickstarter for quite a while because they were kind of testing out other stuff, playing around with like different like Marvel Legends, Mythic Legions, different things like that, kind of seeing like where the hangups of those other figures were, where it's like, oh, I really like this figure, but I can't get like my
Yeah.
Mythic Legion to hold two-handed swords in like very many poses. Like maybe I can get him to hold it like really close to his chest, elbows out, but
Yeah.
like I can't have him like swinging a two-handed sword. So they're like, all right, let's work that in. And I think that's really helped them because the articulation on these guys, like I said, looks pretty awesome. So I'm pretty excited to see these in hand, and I think I'm gonna pick up a couple. So I think
Very
you gotta get at least one, Jordan. Come on.
All right. I'll mull it over.
All right.
I want to watch the videos and see.
Okay. Yeah.
That might sway me.
Yeah. Definitely check out the videos. I mean, he's got, I think that the list is at the bottom as well, so you can just go straight from the Kickstarter. You can see Jaeger, which I watched him in the Harbinger of the Abyss and the Royal Guard. Those all look pretty cool. The Paranoid, I think it looks pretty cool the way they made it. It's just not one that I've never been like a big merman fan, or I don't need a creature from the Black Lagoon type of character. But then they also have a dwarf, like a full model made of him, which he's not in any of these waves. So that makes me think there's going to be future waves, and they're going to bring out a whole wave of dwarves in the future, which I hope they also bring out some more of those, like the Animorphs.
Oh yeah.
I can get a Tiger Man, maybe stuff like that. Those I will definitely be picking up. So lots of cool stuff here.
Yeah.
Anything else you got to say about the Crucible?
When is the cutoff for this? Do we say?
Yes, it's coming to a close. You still got 34 days though.
Oh.
So plenty of time, and I don't know when exactly these are going to be put out. I think I saw somewhere it was going to be sometime in 2024 though. So ends now, then it probably goes into like all the tooling and production, and then yeah, I wouldn't expect to see these until maybe middle of 2024. I'm sure they have a date somewhere. I can't scroll around and find it right now. But yeah, I'll probably be in a van by then, so I'll have them shipped to you, and you can open them up and tell me what they're like.
I'll play with them.
Yeah. So yeah, leave us a comment down below. Have you heard of these guys before? Are you planning on picking them up? Have you already backed it? Have you put your all in times 10? Because I know that's one of the tiers, is you can get 10 all ins. Are there some that you're going to pick and choose, kind of like I am? Are you still on the fence like Jordan? You need to do a little more research. You've got the time. But yeah, I don't know. I'm curious to see what happens with these, because it seems like it's pretty well received. They've got a Facebook group that has a lot of people in it. Obviously, they've got over 1,000 backers right now. I would expect that to go up quite a bit. Is this going to turn out kind of like Legions did, where that first Kickstarter, those Legions are going crazy money right now? I don't think we would see that for a few years, but I could see this being a pretty successful line, and I hope they do get to the same level as like Four Horsemen Studios, where we get maybe like a wave a year, something like that.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty fun. So
That'd be cool.
I think that's all I've got for the Savage Crucible. If you've made it this far, make sure you're leaving a comment. And yeah, check these guys out. Let us know if you would like Jordan and I doing these spotlight episodes, or if you're like, you know what, why don't you guys just stick to complaining about Marvel Legends?
That's true.
But yeah, we like to branch out. When you're a strong collector like us and you've conquered other areas, you like to see what other lands are out there to conquer. So let us know. Like, share, subscribe, and stay strong.